Venezuela is getting safer as criminals, single men, and gangs flee to other countries, uh, mainly fleeing to the United States. You know, like like uh, like Trump said, like Donald Trump said, they're not sending their best and brightest. You know, they're emptying out their jails, they're emptying out their prisons, the criminals, and they're sending them, shipping them out to other countries like the United States. And we're gonna talk a little bit about that, but before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from Revolver, and they report that a curious trend is unfolding in Venezuela as military age men, criminals, and gang members leave the country heading to places like the United States. Something unexpected happens. Crime rates drop in Venezuela but rise in the new destinations. Who would have thought, right? Um, the reality here is not complex. It's straightforward. It should have been clear uh, from the start. Remember when President Trump brought this up in the first term? That's what I was just alluding to. He faced a storm of criticism labeled racist and worse for simply pointing out what now seems undeniable. Rapists, murderers, and other assorted bad guys are flooding into the U.S. However, the absurdly ridiculous narrative pushed by the left paints a picture of every illegal as some humble, hardworking, military age guy fleeing political turmoil. But that's a dangerously naive view. The oversimplification glosses over the harsh truth. Among those crossing into the U.S. are thugs causing real harm. I mean, we're seeing it now. This isn't just about border security, it's about the safety of Americans who are now facing the consequences of this unchecked influx of bad guys. Our crime rates are climbing and our cities are becoming less safe. That's an understatement. And while countries like Venezuela see improvements, having shifted their problems onto us. Wow, big here. So I'm gonna play this clip here. Give me a second. Let me grab my headphones. I know I'm never prepared here. Um, let's see, grab my headphones. Here we go. All right, now someone named Anti-Commie, I love the name. Anti-Commie tweeted out, "These Venezuelan gangs are professionals. They are hitting up mansions across the USA. They are not regular robbers, hackers, drones, robbers, say whatever." All right, so let's check this out here.
Got robbed for $750,000, $375 in cash.
You had that much cash in your house?
I was taking it out because I wasn't trusting the banks at that time. It was a Venezuelan gang. I was 8 out of 160 homes that got hit in a year.
You weren't home, obviously.
No, I wasn't. So what they were doing is they go through the Wi-Fi. They put a drone behind the house. They hacked my Wi-Fi. The reason I know this because my friend who does my security on my home is like, "Tito, look right here. 17 times someone's trying to break in during that month."
What's the purpose of the drone?
The drone, they get in, they get your signal through. On HTTP, you could hack anybody. All my guns are out. They didn't touch any of it. They didn't touch my guns. They took my wife's purses. They took her shoes. They cut my safe out of the ground.
They cut it out of the ground?
Cut it out of the ground. I went looking for a month from 8 p.m. until 4 a.m. for 1 month with my 45 in my lap, searching the neighborhood over and over and over and over. No house got hit for that whole month. The day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to bed. The next day they had a house 5 houses down from me. They were watching me the whole time.
Wow. That is scary. That is scary. That is scary. Wow. And Venezuelan migrant charged with raping a young teenager in Virginia. I did a whole report on that. So you could check that out where I give some info on that. But this is just wild. This is happening in America. They are organized and they know what they're doing. He said they've waited for him. They was watching him, and once they knew basically that he would stop surveying the neighborhood, they came back. That's crazy. But it gets worse. A Venezuelan illegal murder, a beautiful 22-year-old American nursing student, Christy Nome, one of Trump's likely VP picks, spoke out. She tweeted out, nations like Venezuela are emptying their prisons of dangerous criminals to send them to America. They are happy to let America's open border be the solution to their problem. The tragic murder in Georgia proves that Biden's border policies are putting our kids in danger. Let's check this out here.
Countries such as Venezuela are known to be emptying out their prisons and their mental institutions, and they're sending them to America. They're happy to let our open border be the solution to their problems and their responsibilities.
I agree. Joe Biden has Lake and Riley's blood all over his shaky gray hands. I agree. And this is just information on an alleged illegal immigrant, Jose Antonio Ibarra, charged in the death of a 22-year-old nursing student, Lake and Riley. Riley reportedly went for a jog. You can't even jog in your neighborhood. And was later found dead on the University of Georgia from blunt force trauma. So this happened on campus. And even more sinister fact is that Antonio had no known connection to Riley. Jose Antonio Ibarra was charged with malice murder, felony murder, aggravated battery, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, kidnapping, hindering a 911 call, and concealing the death. Riley was found dead near UGA's intramural fields. Based on the injuries and Riley's physical condition, I suspect that foul play was involved, the police report. No doubt. Let me see if there's any new added information here. No, this is just the same thing that he tweeted out here. This illegal scumbag. So here's a picture of the disgusting guy here. Look at him. Evil incarnate. But this illegal scumbag was allowed into the U.S. by the Biden regime and released into our communities due to migrant overcrowding. The illegal alien who killed Lake and Riley, a 22-year-old nursing student at the University of Georgia, was Jose Antonio Ibarra, a 26-year-old who was released by the Biden-Harris administration in El Paso due to overcrowding in migrant shelters. So these people are evil, and we're allowing this evil into our country. In addition, New York had an opportunity to take down this savage murderer after he injured a minor. They didn't do that, of course, no bail laws and all that. However, because they are a sanctuary state, so he was free to roam and kill an innocent girl in the prime of her life. So not only is this under Biden, this is Biden's fault, but also New York and their sanctuary status is doing this. Rep. Mike Collins said if New York City had called ICE on Jose Antonio Ibarra and said, we have a criminal alien in custody for injury to a minor, come get him, Lake and Riley would be alive. That's a fact. Sanctuary jurisdictions get Americans killed. True. Nonsensical liberal policies are killing decent Americans. Meanwhile, neighboring crap holes are improving now that the U.S. has become a free dumping ground for their garbage and filth. Bloomberg report, Venezuela's rate of violent deaths dropped to its lowest level in more than 2 decades following years of massive migration as both criminals and victims fled the nation's economic crisis. The Venezuelan Violence Observatory registered 26.8 violent deaths per 100,000 inhabitants this year from a rate of 35.3 for every 100,000 inhabitants in 2022. Roberto Bricino Leon, director of the observatory, said in a webcast Thursday, that is the lowest since 2001 and is 1/3 of what it was in 2016, he added. That's because it's the lowest since in forever. What is it, 2024? In 23 years. The lowest in 23 years is because they are putting all the criminals, sending them all here. Young people who have traditionally been the main victims of violence have fled, while criminals and gangs have immigrated due to the lack of opportunities to commit crimes, according to of Leon. So they're going where the money is. People that they were robbing fled, so they fled with them to rob even more. But while violent deaths in the world have increased due to wars, in most Latin American countries, the trend has been a reduction in homicide rates, he said. Venezuela's 2023 rate still remains high, and in the region is only surpassed by Ecuador and Honduras. Once again, President Trump was spot on. I agree. If his warnings had been taken seriously instead of being dismissed with juvenile name calling, young women like Lakin might still be with us today. And that is 100% facts. You can't argue against that. But let me know what you think, though. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest news. Until next time, peace.